Happy Halloween, everybody. Listen, Paranormal Soul Brother with a special Halloween edition, okay? HPI International was invited by Sarah to go to Nightmare Island in Vallejo, California. Also invited to visit the oldest cemetery on the West Coast, military that is, and that's Nightmare Island as well. And we had a tour from the Undertaker. He gave us history, stuff like Francis Scott Key, the man that wrote the Star Spangled Banner. His daughter's buried there. I mean, this is a very nostalgic and very historic cemetery. So I also had to do an impromptu investigation. Yeah, so this is Paranormal Soul Hulk. Brother. Happy Halloween. So won't you come along with me to Nightmare Island? Thank you, Sarah, from HPI.
Then make a U-turn.
Paranormal Soul, brother. Going to this party, people. So we gonna get haunted. Yeah, just scare me. Listen. I'm walking on Mare Island with this old bunker. That's right, this is an old military island. It's supposed to be haunted. So I'm up here on my way to the cemetery. Even in the daytime, you get a feeling from it that's kind of woozy. So what's up, Paranormal Soul people out there? We going to a CEMETARY. Okay, folks, that's right. That's right. You see where I'm at. You see what time it is. Come cross this threshold with me, with respect. This is the scariest cemetery you've ever been to in the daytime. Can you feel it? Feel it. Can you feel it? Really neat.
So anyway, good evening. I'm the Undertaker. Tour right now. This is the oldest Navy cemetery on the West Coast, not the oldest military cemetery. That would be the Presidio.
Okay.
The Presidio, the whole Presidio is 1,800 acres, so it's several miles. The Army Cemetery at the Presidio opened in 1850. There are 30,000 American servicemen buried there from 1850 up until the 1990s. This cemetery is only 3.5 acres. It is the oldest Navy cemetery on the West Coast. There are over 900 people buried here. I've given this tour this time of year, and I've walked up this hill and there's slick mud. There'll probably be mud next weekend because it's supposed to rain. So this cemetery opened in 1856. The government bought this land, Mare Island, which was originally a peninsula. Now Alameda, south of here, that was originally an island. It's now a peninsula. This was originally a peninsula. It's now an island. And the Navy bought this land in 1854. They created the first deep water dry dock and the first deep water dock on the West Coast in 1854. They built the first hospital in 1855, and they knew they needed a cemetery, so they took this 3.5 acre parcel and built a cemetery in 1856. The first person buried here, his name is Dowd. He's buried in this section. He was buried here in late 1856. So this is section A above us here. This is the oldest section of the cemetery. Most of the people buried here were from the 1850s. This is section B on the far right, and those people died here in the American Civil War time. This is section C where these trees are. These people were buried here in the 1870s and 1880s. This is section D where I'm standing. These people died in the late 19th century and early 20th century. This would be section E. So these people died around 1900, and on the far right is section F, and the people who buried there died around the time of the First American War. So,
Nice. Wow.
the majority of people buried here are Marines, they're Navy, there are families of officers, there are a few civilians that worked on the island buried here. Only 2% of the people buried here were women, and back in the early 20th century and late 19th century, there were no women in the military. 1850. Most of the people buried in this section were officers, family members of officers, paymasters, chaplains, people who were high up. This is the Sawyer family grave here. Part of this railing is actually in our storage building because, you know, it's iron and it's been falling apart. So the Sawyer family, the father was chief petty officer, he's buried here. His wife, her mother, and their son, who's buried there. And the son's name is Samuel. He was 2 years old when he contracted diphtheria and passed away.
Wow.
So the parents divorced. And after that happened, it was their only child. The grandparents are very proud to have at least one grandchild. A lot of children died very early in the late 19th century. That's why most people had 10 or 12 kids. So at least a few would survive. So this is the Sawyer family here. And you can see the condition of these railings. This is very common below us that were paid for by the military. Nowadays, if your family member was in the military, they were a veteran, they give you a bronze plaque. In the 19th century, they would give you a marble tombstone, and we'll see some in a moment. But this is the oldest section of the cemetery. And we do have one relative of a famous person buried here. And her name is Anna Arnold Key. And Anna Key's right here. Her father wrote the Star Spangled Banner. His name is Francis Scott Key. He wrote that during the War of 1812 when she was a very small child. Anna had 12 siblings. She was in the middle of that group of 12 siblings. She married a gentleman named Daniel Turner, whose father at one time was governor of the state of North Carolina. He was in the Navy. He had a commission and he was an engineer. He came out here with Admiral Farragut in 1854 to build the first dry dock and the first deep water wet dock on the west coast, which is below you here. It's right on the Napa River.
Paranormal Soul Brother out here at Nightmare Island. And guess who we got? We got the Undertaker. You know, he was nice enough to give us all this information about the cemetery. So I'd just like to say goodnight to him and tell him thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
And we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Good evening.
Paranormal Soul Brother, I'm gonna go in here and hear a little bit of the symposium.
It seems like older ones do hold more energy.
Look, hi, this is Paranormal Soul Brother here with Jim from Hauntology Productions. I was here watching him earlier. He had quite a bit of hardware, and everything is over tonight, but I just wanted to say hi to some of the, you know, really resourceful people here. I want Jim to say a few things, just say hi to you, and we'll sign out tonight.
Yep, thanks for coming out and checking it out. It's always good to get feedback, you know, from people in the field and see how, you know, what they think about the evidence. So, yeah, I'm glad people liked it. I hope I had enough, you know, people could check it out. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did, man. That was some good gear, and you had good production. So I'll definitely be trying to. Are you on Facebook as well? Or where
No,
can
I
reach
have a
you?
website, though. You can go to www.hauntology.com. So haunt, so HAUNTOLOGY productions.com.
All right.
Just like that. Yeah. So a lot of my stuff's on there, too. You can check out. You know, and I'm always adding stuff about every week or two.
Oh, okay.
More stuff. So
Sounds
we always
good.
got something going on.
Hey, look, well, we'd like to thank Jim from Hauntology, and it's Paranormal Soul Brother signing off. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, got Paranormal Soul Brother right here. I got a few battery packs to create a high voltage field, what we call immersion. See, can I capture some EVPs or spirits? Probably not, but I'm out here at the graveyard by myself. Now that everybody's left, the Undertaker's gone. Ooh, the Undertaker is gone. The Paranormal Soul Brother is by himself. like to thank Sarah. We're gonna just walk around here a little bit, get a little footage, see if I get some EVPs. It does give you the willies when you're by yourself. Ooh-wee. All right. Charles White. It's Paranormal Soul Brother. I want to say good evening to you. If you can, could you leave me a little something on this video? Maybe I can play back for folks to let us know that you're either with us, trying to depart us, or you're trying to reach us. It's kind of scary out here. Is there anybody that wishes to contact me? Is anybody here? Paranormal Soul Brother. Is anybody here that can hear Paranormal Soul Brother? Talk to me right now.
Oh, shit, what was that? Get the hell out of here.
Ouch. That wasn't cool. Listen, we'd like to thank you for coming out to Nightmare Island. Sarah invited us, and we represented Deanna Jackson Stinson and Paul Dale Roberts for HPI International. This was an investigation. I'd like to thank you, but you know what? I ain't gonna let you get out of here. I never do without leaving you with a very interesting fact. Very interesting. Did you know that the latest thing I've been interested in is things called metal boxes? Metal boxes. Woo! Metal boxes have been mysteriously appearing around all the fault lines around the world. Okay, and the story goes, Bill Handshoemaker, a Marine specialist, a PhD doctor at the Hatfield Marine Observatory near Newport, he said that these things have been appearing, disappearing. They also assist in vibration along the fault line, releasing pressure. He said that you can tie a four-wheel drive if you want to. You can chain it up and try to pull this thing, and you can't pull it. You can't open it, you can't do anything. They appear and disappear. Nobody knows what they're for or why they're here. But some seem to think that they're benevolent and they're here to help with the fault lines, the Zetas. Anyway, look it up. Anyway, until next time, Paranormal Soul Brother.